It's a wake-up call for America on this issue of veteran suicides. Veterans in this country commit suicide at a rate twice the general population.
Military veterans are more than ignored. 300 of them sit on death row in the U.S. Our prisons are filled with veterans. Our mental hospitals are filled with veterans. Our homeless shelters are filled with veterans.
Veterans being denied the benefits that they've earned, with many veterans dying before the VA gets around to answering the claim.
Prescriptions for 4 highly addictive painkillers have surged by 270% since the war in Afghanistan began. The agency is over-medicating patients.
This is safer than anything else that they give out. Anything else they give out.
There are those who actually do try and still don't get better. And the question becomes, did they need more of it? Did they need the other therapy? Or did they need something else altogether? The goal is to keep finding enough alternatives to find the right answer for everyone. And we're just not there yet.
The psychedelic medicines, particularly ibogaine for addiction, ayahuasca's in that same arena, 5-MeO-DMT is in that same arena. When you look at the data, the psychedelic medicines are very good for many of the issues that psychiatry is really ineffective.
This is Ayahuasca Jump School. We're going to do something that could otherwise be very dangerous. Veterans are the ones that need this healing more than anyone because we're the outputs of the war machine. Veterans have to be the ones to show the rest of humanity how to transcend violence as a political tool.
It is risky, but it's a calculated risk. Ayahuasca is a way to give relief to those who are suffering.
After I got back, I attempted suicide.
You attempted suicide because?
I was completely hopeless.
The scars are in me. That's evident. Even though I can't see them or intellectualize them, I think ayahuasca can.
I've done so much. No one should take a life for granted.
I want to find the path back to my family, find the path back to love. And I want to stop hurting. I just had a baby girl. I want to be a good father to her.
My name is Matthew Kale. I'm Executive Director at Veterans for Natural Rights. I signed up to the military in 2007, and I deployed twice to Afghanistan. At first, I thought it went amazing, and everything was great. But a few months after I got back from my first deployment, I started to notice issues. I started distancing myself and isolating myself from social interaction, including my family. Eventually, I ended up trying to commit suicide. Cannabis became an option for me after I was medevaced from my second deployment. A facial trauma, I lost a part of my jaw, and traumatic brain injury, cervical, thoracic, and lumbosacral spinal injuries, and I've been dealing with the effects of those ever since. I was put on a massive list of prescription drugs, and they completely ruined my life. I didn't know whether I was coming and going. I was a zombie, a chemical zombie, and I needed some other option. So I moved from my home in North Carolina and became a medical refugee in my own country to the state of Colorado, where I could get access to cannabis. I didn't even know what to do when it came to civilian life. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to be a normal human being, and cannabis is one of the things that helped teach me how to do that. Besides cannabis, there were a number of different treatment options that were out there. Some of them included other natural medicines, like the natural psychedelics. Even more than that, there were things that were even simpler, things like community, things like belonging, things like recreational therapy, just getting out and learning how to have fun again. Having PTSD is sort of a death sentence for being able to have fun in your normal everyday life. And one of my goals was to teach veterans how to have fun again from moment to moment and be in the moment. Veterans for Natural Rights began in December of 2014 when Sue Sisley asked me to help lobby for cannabis dollars for her study. And ever since then, I've really pursued the legislative aspect of progress. And we've pushed a number of bills since then, including PTSD is a covered condition in Colorado. We've gotten marijuana delivery passed, even autism as another covered condition. There's a number of things that we've been weighing on heavily over the course of the years, but the big thing that Veterans for Natural Rights is focused on these days is providing retreat experiences for veterans who have not been able to access any kind of healing other than the pharmaceutical drugs the VA gives out. So now we're primarily focused on bringing veterans to places where natural medicines are legal and teaching them to use these medicines to help themselves. I think starting Veterans for Natural Rights changed the way I look at the world in many ways. And now I really truly believe that we can make a difference collectively. Veterans' voices really do penetrate, and people listen when a veteran speaks. I have helped many veterans climb up out of that deep, dark hole of pain and suffering and trauma. And in turn, they have helped many other veterans themselves climb out of their holes. This is really a chain of veterans, each of us reaching out our hand to the next veteran in line, who then reaches out to the next veteran. And eventually, if we all do our jobs, we can help us all climb out of that hole. If you're down in that hole and you don't know where to turn, you don't know what to do, and you just want to die, just know that you're not alone, that there's other people out here just like you, and all of us want to help you. We want to bring you out, we want to bring you back into the sunlight, and we want to teach you how to heal. Leaf 411 is amazing. They have always supported the veteran cause, and they've done everything in their power to try to put us front and center where we can really, truly help the movement. If you want to get involved with Veterans for Natural Rights, you can reach us at our Facebook page, which is Veterans for Natural Rights. You can send donations to our P.O. Box 273, Divide, Colorado 80814.